Totes Recall.
Welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we can't remember very well, pause the recording, eat 2 pizzas and 2 salads, thank you patrons, while watching the movie we just discussed. Then we come back for a second half of the record and we discuss the movie once again to see how it held up, how good or bad our memories were, and if we ate too much pizza. My name is Dan.
This is Molly.
I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie this very special Netvember
Buzz, buzz, the sound of electricity.
Tron.
Wow.
One.
Very
Yes.
Netvember.
Yes.
The
Maybe.
most net.
They go in a computer for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's networked to something.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I guess because he shows up in a video. Anyway, it came out in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
Molly.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 86, actually.
Ooh.
Oh, I am going to guess 81.
Wow.
Bold. I love it.
That's very bold.
I love it.
I also love it.
84.
I'll say 85. Not
You want to hear
bold.
my logic for why I think it was early 80s?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so there was a time in my life when I was in the
Soviet Union.
third grade.
Oh.
Maybe it was 82 then. Anyway,
Too late.
no, I mean, is it really too late?
What's too late?
To change
Change
it back.
my answer. Well, what if I
Oh.
just did 80 through 85?
No.
Unacceptable.
Okay, 80 through 90.
Never worked. It's never worked.
Well,
every time
but
you
I'm
ask.
always right when I do that.
Honestly, that's not true.
That's fair. Okay, so when I was in, let's say, the second grade, I lived in a small town called Bartlett, Tennessee, which that year had the national champion cheerleading team from Bartlett High School.
Wow.
And that, or 82, 83-ish. And there was an arcade in town.
Oh.
And there was a video game for this movie, Tron.
I agree. There was a video game. I
That
played it.
was like one of those big ones where you could like stand in it or
Whoa.
drive in it or whatever, right?
the
Like
light
just
cycle, right?
It was like a light cycle or the highlight.
I don't know. I just know it wasn't the kind that you just walked up to
Yeah.
and played on a screen. It was sort of immersive in some way. And I remember begging my parents, could I please see the movie and can I play this game? And they said, 1, no, it requires 2 tokens instead of 1.
Ugh.
Go play Miss Pac-Man or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And 2, no, you cannot see that movie. It's for adults.
For adults.
Well,
Is
they didn't want to see it, so they just
Oh,
told
okay.
me.
Yeah, they made
I
up
was
a
like,
reason.
it's definitely for kids,
To
right?
quote,
Is it a kids movie?
I think it might
I
be
thought
for
so.
teens.
For teens?
I'm
I
saying
was
PG
okay. Until this very moment, I assumed it was for adults.
I thought it was.
because of
I've-
your parents.
Yes.
Nice.
I don't know if I've actually ever seen it before. I know I think I saw the new one.
Tron Legacy?
Legacy.
Yeah, I want to say Legacy.
To quote the bard of the 80s, William Smith, parents just don't understand.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's real.
It's true.
But I don't know. I might be misremembering or thinking it was a different
We'll
game.
find
but
out.
That
We will
seems
find
about
out.
right.
I've also played
Yeah.
that game. I played it at Keystone Arcade
Nice.
in Mountain View or Palo Alto.
Has
It's
anyone
gone, I'm sure.
The entire town?
The arcade. I'm
Oh.
sure the arcade is gone.
I mean, probably most of the original town is gone at this
yeah,
point, right?
arcades are...
Did you know there was,
Dunzo.
at least in the 90s, an arcade museum in St. Louis?
Nice.
I'll try to look it up, see if it's still there. But it was super fun. They had everything from like a penny arcade machine all the way on up to what was then modern.
Time Crisis.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Jeff Bridges, I've seen this movie.
Has anyone else not seen this movie?
He's in it? I have not seen it for sure.
Slow your roll, Dan.
Oh, wow.
I think it's time we take a union strong, support the Writers Guild, SAG-AFTRA, keep it going, auto workers,
Everybody strike.
do it. Do it. Do it.
Totes Pre-Call.
Totes Pre-Call.
You have seen this movie, Dan?
Yes.
Okay. Beth and Molly, teamwork makes the dream work,
Okay.
Are you ready?
just like unions.
Nice. Are you
Wow.
ready?
Yes.
Do.
Okay. So
People are inside a computer.
I think there is a video game in an arcade,
Okay.
and somehow they are like electricity happens and they're like sucked into the game.
And is it a boy and a girl?
I know for sure Jeff Bridges is one of them.
I heard that recently too.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a girl.
And my
30 seconds.
memory is that there's a girl and they ride around on bikes and it's just very stylized with a lot of lights.
Yeah, it's like
neon.
everything is like dark except for like neon lights, and
It's
they
like
can
blue?
only turn on like right angles.
Oh yeah.
And they ride around, and if they crash into, like, you create like a trail behind the
10
bike,
seconds.
and if you
They
crash
defeat
into it,
evil and get married.
and the bad guy is orange, maybe. Good guy is blue.
Or they don't get married, they just have fruitful lives.
Time.
Marriage is not the only way to be happy. I'm just trying to tie a bow on it.
Yeah.
You can also get a high-paying job.
Yeah. We know how the 80s worked.
But don't do both.
No.
No,
Yeah.
that's never an option.
Yeah.
See, Mr.
Those were
Mom.
great
Great.
bets.
Great.
My memory of is Jeff Bridges is in a lab or something, or in like a server room, and he's setting up a laser.
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember this. I'm recalling this too. Like, I feel like it's very Honey, I Shrunk the Kids-esque, where they're just
Yeah.
like a weird laser gun.
Yeah, and the laser computerizes him,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then he's in the computer,
Yes.
and there's like a whole world.
It's not a video game. It's not like an arcade. It's like a computer game.
He's like at a job or a lab,
But
or
isn't
something.
Okay.
he
It's not
at
an
isn't he
arcade.
at a make a game lab? Doesn't he like make computer games?
He might, because the Tron game exists. He goes into an existing game,
Yeah.
but then there's like a whole world inside.
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
And yeah, there's the light
like
bikes.
shops.
I don't know if there's shops. There's definitely the light bikes,
Yeah.
which you talked about. There's Highlight.
Yeah.
There's some
What's highlight?
Highlight is a sport.
Yes.
It's that sport where you got the curved glove and you swing a ball really fast.
Is this in real life or in
Yeah.
Tron life?
I mean, both.
Highlight is a real thing.
They might have
They
added.
made a Tron version.
They might have altered the rules a bit for
Yeah.
Tron World.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There's throwing discs at each other.
Yes.
Disc golf.
No, they try to hit each
It's
other.
like
with discs.
offensive frisbee.
Yeah.
When you say, okay, so when you say they're throwing discs at each other,
Yeah.
there is a villain within the game, or is it like somebody else has also been zapped into this game?
I am unclear on that, actually.
My memory is only Jeff Bridges gets sucked inside.
Okay.
And he's trying to get out. And I think he's up against like the CPU or something.
Yeah.
The bad guy's got like a computer name,
And he's
the
like
Orderer
a giant
or something,
head or something.
Oh.
who Jeff Bridges is mixing stuff up. He's breaking all the rules.
Yeah.
Okay, and the computer does not like
It's
that
mad
because it
about
likes
it.
rules.
Yeah.
Computer likes rules. And there is a lady. I think the lady's already in the game.
Is she a person or a computer program?
I think she's a program, but they also.
Smooch, at
Does
least.
she have brown hair? Molly's bet she has brown hair.
All right.
I don't know. I'm relying
Sure.
on like my 8-year-old brain right,
Right.
now.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, they have just like neon helmets and gear.
Yeah.
They look cool, but I bet it looks like shit now.
I bet it looks cool in that it's like uniquely stylized.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And
but I
there's
mean, they
this,
put a
like-
budget behind it, right? But it was a big flop.
I don't
Molly's
know.
bet it was a flop.
Wow.
I think.
I also bet that it was a flop.
But it's like Disney, right?
I
Or
think
like-
they own it at least.
Yeah.
Now.
Now
So
they do.
if it was a flop, why have so many people seen it? And then did they make a sequel out of it?
Because it became a cult classic.
Yeah.
Okay, so people were like, actually, we do like this movie.
Yeah. All the dork kids
Yeah.
were like, hell yeah, I'm in a video game now. And
Right.
then the dork kids grew up
Mm.
and everybody made comic book movies and
Yeah.
now the dorks ruled.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And
Made
then
a lot of money.
somebody in the Disney Corp was like, dorks loved Tron. Let's
Yeah.
make another Tron while Jeff Bridges is alive.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in that one too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like old. He's the same character and he's old.
I think his son gets sucked into the game.
Oh.
Would you say he's an Ultron?
Is that like a
Ultron.
Voltron joke?
Yeah, like a Voltron,
Got it.
Ultron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was
pretty
pretty good.
good.
It was a
Yeah.
Check
singer.
out The Old Man on Hulu.
Old Man and the Sea Drive.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Okay.
All
You're cooking with
right.
gas now, Molly.
If rhythms exist, it's ours.
Yeah, it is. Trademark.
That's a good book.
Okay, here's where I'm confused about whether there are other people in the machine, because I don't think I've seen this since I was a kid, but I feel like there's a point in the movie near the end where like someone gets like, I don't know, like supercharged by the evil computer.
Yeah.
And now they're like, but they also, it's confusing because like the computer programs, it's like the Matrix, like the programs also look like people.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not sure if the guy who gets supercharged and is like the evil antagonist that he has to deal with at the near the end is a person who's also in the computer, or if he's like a program written by that, because I feel like the actor who plays him in the computer also plays a character in the real world.
I was just about to make that bet.
So I feel like maybe it's either like he actually got sucked in, or like he wrote the program, so like it's represented by the actor.
And it's
I
a
don't know.
confusing style choice. Whenever they do that, where they cast the same person as two different characters and don't explain why,
Yeah.
I get confused. I think this movie does it.
Yeah.
Because he's got a buddy
Yeah.
outside. He's got a buddy in the real world.
Okay.
Who knows he's in the game?
I don't think at first.
Great question.
But then, because there's a one point where he like in the game, he comes to the screen in an arcade. And he's like, "Let me out."
What?
I think.
I
that
love
sounds
that.
familiar.
Oh shit! Jeff Bridges is in the game. There's also an apple. An apple gets computerized.
Just like Shiny I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, if I
yeah.
find out I've watched this movie, I'm going to laugh and laugh because that sounds real. But maybe
Yeah.
I've just seen like a meme.
But I remember his friend is like, "Ha ha ha! My buddy's out of the way, and now I can make all the money."
Oh.
Or if his buddy's trying to get him out,
Hmm.
it's kind of got a little bit of Sneakers vibe, where like the two buddy hacker buddies,
Yeah, yeah.
and one it goes bad and the other goes fine.
Sure.
Is there a girl component
In the real world,
in any of the worlds?
There's a lady in the game.
that they smooch.
But is there like a jealousy factor outside world?
Oh.
Oh, like he's got a IRL girlfriend?
Yeah, that maybe the buddy
Maybe.
turned bad.
Oh,
Bad buddy
he,
goes
like,
after.
Puts his arm around her really aggressively?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I don't know.
Solid
Okay.
bet.
We can hope.
Okay, is there in movies like this, there
Yeah.
are usually like two components. One is that there is a villain within the game that is trying to kill the main character within the game,
Yeah.
and it's like if he dies in there, he dies in real life kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
Is that a thing?
You got to have stakes, right?
Yeah, he goes into like a computer jail at some point
Okay.
because he's like a misbehaving program. And so he gets quarantined.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
And he's got to break out.
the place where this is different from the Matrix is there is no Jeff Bridges body out in the real world. Like he is like
Yeah, he's
literally in the game.
So then is there a second kind of plot line where it's like maybe his buddy is trying to protect the computer from being turned off because he knows his friend is in the
yeah.
game?
Ooh, yeah. I bet
I'm into that.
I bet there's a moment where like the computer is being threatened to be just like shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe by the NSA.
Whoa.
Yeah. I guess there must be a network aspect because
I guess in the 80s it would have been the FBI.
Do we think there's going to be amazing technology,
Yes.
like shots of technology?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like being able to order a pizza
Yeah.
like on the net.
To show that he's like an incredible computer guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
like
hope so.
hacks hard.
Yeah.
He hacks
Yeah.
I
hard.
can't wait to see this guy hack.
Oh.
Dan's bet. Tron is the name of one of the buddies that Jeff Bridges hangs out with in the computer.
Oh.
Oh.
Because like,
It's not the game.
well, I think the people that aren't Jeff Bridges are programs. So I
Yeah.
think he is like the manifestation of the game Tron or something.
Whoa.
I thought he might be the big villain, and that's like the final
Oh,
boss.
Tron is the villain.
That's my guess.
I thought the big head was just called, like the CPU or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, Dan's bet, the big head is maybe will look corny computer graphics, but like as a character is pretty cool because
Yeah.
it's just like a weird head with a deep voice.
Yeah. There's also like very like angled walking robot looking things that are just like I'm showing it visually,
Oh.
which doesn't help. They're just like three sides of a square.
Yeah.
And they just like walk and chase him on his light
Ooh,
bike.
ooh. And Jeff Bridges
very
has
intense.
Jeff Bridges has like a weird little like Disney animal friend that's just like a weird shape. Do you remember the shape that like makes little noises and changes shape as it makes noises?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
I think it's
yeah.
a bit.
I was going to say, I bet its name is Bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like a comic bit.
I mean,
Oh,
both.
Maybe both.
Yeah.
Great.
Wow.
I think I
So
think
many levels.
I think it is actually I think it is a bit because it can only communicate by saying yes or no.
Is it by
I
any
get it.
chance a woman, and does it communicate with another bit? And do they communicate about not a man?
Ooh,
I doubt it.
I
Okay.
think it's gonna fail.
Me
Fail
too.
the Bechdel-Wallace test? I agree. I think it's going to fail.
Yeah.
I don't even think I can muster up an optimistic.
Mhm.
Yeah. But who knows?
Who
I'd love
knows?
to be wrong.
Maybe Jeff Bridges will be like, oh, quick, let me program you a second woman.
Yeah. Oh, now I've got 2 women in here. Clickety clack.
Yikes.
Whoa. So you're betting that Jeff Bridges is a sex creep?
No, I think he's a hashtag good man, but he's probably kind of a slob and he wears a jean jacket.
Yeah, I bet he's a good man, good hacker, bad employee.
Oh, he's hacking on the side, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Slacker hacker.
Slacker hacker.
Ooh, slacker hacker. That's good. Yeah, I don't actually know what the plot of this movie is outside of Jeff Bridges in computer doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, it seems like there's got to be an outside plot, like
Yeah.
Beth was saying. Like, we got to get the game launched, or we can't
Or
get money,
something.
or
like maybe the
I gotta make
computer
rent.
maybe the computer's like freaking out because Jeff Bridges is in it, and so one of the other employees is like, oh no, there's a virus and we have to
Oh,
like
they
wipe
think
the
he's a
drive or
virus.
something.
Oh,
That seems like a thing.
Cyrus the virus.
What?
Yeah.
That's from Con
Con
Air.
Air.
Okay. Very similar film.
They both. Nope. I was gonna say from the 80s, but that's not true.
No, it's not nowhere
From
near true.
decades past.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
That
true.
works.
That's true.
Yeah.
Any other actors with names we'll know when we see them?
Wow.
I bet we'll be delighted by some people we had forgotten about.
I bet the villain is played by somebody that we know or will recognize
Nice.
from 80s movies.
Nice.
Or TV. No, just movies. This was back when movies and TV were totally separate.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I put myself in the right mindset. Man, I could really go for a new Coke right now. Am I right?
You are right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh.
let's watch Max Headroom on the television.
I'm so upset because I shit myself and don't have the ability to change my own undergarments. 80s. We're in the 80s.
Oh,
Wait, what?
was everybody shooting themselves?
No, because I was like 3.
Oh, I see what's happening.
Jesus.
Oh, I was
Didn't
like, is
understand
that
that
an
reference.
infomercial? I was like, is that
I
like
hope it's an
I
infomercial.
followed it. I
can't
can't
get up?
up.
That's what I thought you were
I
saying.
shit myself and I can't change out of it.
Yeah.
Well, at 3, you probably could.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well,
Wait, when did I say this movie came out?
84.
Oh, I was definitely shitting myself then.
Yeah. But you
Well-
probably knew about it.
Tron?
Shitting yourself.
Oh.
I mean, it was in the cultural zeitgeist, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe you were also aware.
Yeah. I definitely played the Tron game, but it must have been well after it got released.
But they weren't. So this is pre-massive marketing, though, right? So this wasn't like this is pre-Jurassic Park, where
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
was like Jurassic everything. Yeah, I think video games are really the major commercialization.
Yeah.
But I will look up if McDonald's had a special Happy Meal.
Nice.
I feel like there were some plates or cups,
Sure.
Tron cups.
Oh, you know those glasses? Remember those glasses
I
they used
do
to give
remember the
away?
glasses. Wow.
I'll ask.
So
Then
good.
you get
Ask
real
the
material.
internet?
Yes.
Okay.
Now everything's just fucking a piece of plastic.
Man, those glasses were sweet. We used to
Really?
collect all of them.
Nice.
Well, anyway. Okay.
Even
McDonald's
that's a scam
glasses.
too, though.
Tron. What do you mean it's a scam?
Why would that be a scam?
Just to get you to buy more
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Get
yeah,
the whole set.
definitely. Yeah.
Well,
stuff that you
That's
don't
not
need.
a scam.
You've got enough glasses at home, right?
What?
Some people don't.
How are you grumpy about getting
About a major corporation giving us
Manipulating children into forcing
Buying-
their parents to buy more
stuff, to
things.
buying low quality food.
Okay, those glasses lasted a long time though.
He's not
They were
talking about
good
the quality of the
quality.
glasses.
Well, you know,
I'm sorry, I forgot how much you love McDonald's and Burger King.
And just large corporations
Yeah.
in general.
I do have really fond memories
Who's
though.
Turner's favorite fast food?
Great question.
Ted's Montana Grill, and I'm sure I've told you the French fry story.
No.
No, I don't think you have. Look at you. Look what you did.
Are you
did it.
so upset that you
I-
thought I wouldn't be able to do it?
Wait, is it actually a fast food place or like
I
a
don't know what
casual,
Montana
fast
Grill
casual?
is.
It's fast casual.
That's different.
Do they serve buffalo burgers?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I was going to
Bison
guess
burgers.
Buffalo
On
Wild
brand.
Wings for fun. I didn't actually know the
Oh.
answer.
is there buffalo
Oh,
fries?
that's a very funny guess.
That is a funny guess.
Do you
Thank
want to
you.
hear the French fry story? It's
Yes.
pretty good.
Okay.
I don't know if it's
Oh.
true. Okay, Dan
I-
hates this.
I'm the only one that actually expressed any level of enthusiasm.
No, I want to hear it.
Do you?
I wanna hear
Should we
it.
save it for the second half?
No. I want to hear it right now.
Wow. Wow, he's so
Okay,
mad.
what's it called?
you guys.
Montana Ted's?
Ted's Montana Grill.
Ted's Montana.
It
Wait,
is like-
is it his restaurant?
He owns.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's not like he loves it. It's like his thing.
Well, both.
It's more like Toby Keith's I Love This Bar and Grill, where he probably loves it because it makes him money.
Yeah.
But he
No.
also owns it.
He also owns it, and he would go there like frequently.
Yeah, no one's disputing that. I'm helping Dan understand it.
Well, yeah. Do you? So yeah, but he
I
like
understand it now.
genuinely likes the place. Is not simply. But I mean, not. You know what I'm saying? He's opened Ted's Montana Grill because he wanted to
How many
save
locations
the
are there?
bison. I don't know. There's at least one in Atlanta. I thought there were more. I'm not sure.
So there's just one?
In
No,
Atlanta?
Hey, I did not say there was just one. I said there's at least one. I'll look it up. Maybe it's still open. I don't know.
But did it spread outside of Georgia?
Listen, people, these are all questions that
start
are
in
irrelevant to
Atlanta?
the story. Okay, whatever.
In
What?
Montana? Did they even put one in Montana? What are the fries?
Yeah, tell us about the fries.
Yeah.
Thanks, Beth.
You're
you
welcome.
understand.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're trying to understand Ted Turner's
No, you
incredible
are just
fast casual
grilling
restaurant
me.
franchise.
Okay, so Ted Turner used to take people to Ted's Montana Grill,
Yeah.
which he owned. He started it because he wanted to save the bison population. And weirdly, the only way to save bison is to kill them and eat them.
Right.
It makes sense. Capitalism, America number 5. He was having a business lunch with other people. I have heard this third hand. I don't know if it's true. But in that business meeting, when he ordered his food,
Yeah.
it comes with fries. And he asked, could you please put 19 fries on the plate? And the server complied, brought it back, and then somebody at the table reached over to take one of his fries. And he said, damn it, if I'd known you would have wanted one, I would have ordered 20.
Oh.
I think it's because he was really watching his calories and
Sure.
his fat intake and stuff, and he knew he could have up to 19 fries.
Wow.
But-
That's bold of someone to reach over
Yeah,
when
it
somebody
is.
makes such a
Right?
specific order.
Right?
Yeah.
I think about this story.
Wait, was that guy a plant so he could make that joke?
It wasn't a joke.
Like he would have genuinely ordered 20?
He ordered 19 French fries.
No, I understand that part.
Specifically because he wanted 19.
Yeah.
Not 18 or 17.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm saying it was the guy who reached for the fries, a plant, so that he could diffuse this situation by making that joke.
What joke?
The joke of, if I'd known you wanted one, I would have ordered 20.
That wasn't a joke. You mean in the storytelling?
I'm saying
It was a plant so that Molly could tell the story.
no.
Is that
so
what you mean?
I'm saying he could make that
the plant is a
comment
potato.
so that people could have an interesting anecdote about going to Ted Turner's Montana Grill.
Ted Turner does not need help getting interesting anecdotes created.
Oh my God!
Molly loves Ted.
It doesn't matter.
Unless it turns out he's a creep.
Can I
And
just
take it all
say
back.
that I liked Ted Turner more before Molly started talking about him all the goddamn time because I was completely ambivalent about him. But now I feel like I have to have an opinion about him, and it infuriates me. Also, don't just let your staff bring you some goddamn fries.
Count your own fries.
Yeah,
You don't have to keep eating everything on your plate, Ted.
yeah, Ted.
Yeah, show some impulse control.
Jesus.
Speaking of impulse,
Yeah.
that's The Engines in Star Trek, which is also a science fiction movie like Tron.
Great segue.
I just
Molly,
can't believe
how
you
should we-
hate me so much.
I didn't say that. I said I hated Ted Turner.
Angry.
Molly has linked her identity with Ted Turner.
This is what we're learning.
I just hate having to care about Ted Turner.
You don't have to care about it.
I do, because if I ask you a question, you jump down my throat because it couldn't possibly be the real version of Ted Turner's reality.
Well,
It couldn't possibly be that he is a businessman who creates scenarios to make a more interesting event with business partners so that they will remember that day and think, wow, Ted's Montana Grill. I remember that fry story. Also, the burger was great.
I mean, possibly. I'm just telling you, like, it doesn't matter.
I'm
you don't
not
care.
disputing he only wanted 19 fries. I'm just saying, what if
Just
he...
like really creating a whole story around it to justify that situation.
No!
When in fact,
No, I'm not.
You're talking about a
Dan's
person.
wondering if Ted Turner's playing 3D chess, which is also something they play in Star Trek,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is a science fiction show and movie like Tron.
Very
Which,
good.
how should we rate the movie Tron? Movie?
Yeah, movie.
The rating scale is Ted Turner. No, I'm just kidding.
They will quit the podcast.
The rating scale is slacker hacker clickety clack.
Wow.
That is my favorite rating of all time.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible.
Yep.
Slacker hacker.
Slacker hacker, clickety clack.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't need to expand on
No, I
that.
think it makes perfect
I
sense.
understand it.
Yeah. Dan, how many slacker hacker the clicky clacks you want to give this?
Slacker hacker, clickety. Okay. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen this movie since I was a child. I remember thinking it was cool, but also barely remembering anything about it, which could mean it's actually better than I think it's going to be because it's more interesting of a movie because there's more going on. So I'm going to optimistically say 4 slacker hacker clickety clacks.
Excellent. Beth, you were second. How many slacker hacker do you give it?
Ooh, nice Foley.
You're welcome.
A couple Tonys in here. All right.
Yeah, I watched the new one, I think.
Okay.
Or I just saw a bunch of trailers for it and I was like, yeah, I get it. And it was fine, but I'm guessing the first one was better because why would you remake a movie?
Who knows?
Why would you make a sequel, a reboot? It's a reboot, right?
It's like a
It's a sequel. He's the same character.
Requel.
It's a what?
It's like a reboot in that like they introduced new characters because just in case it made money, they could make more.
Oh, okay.
Right. But
But it was
a
intentional.
reboot would be the similar story with different. Like
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges plays the same character.
Yeah.
Okay.
It feels like
Well,
sequel.
but
to me.
Roseanne has the same people playing the same
Check
characters.
out
That's a reboot.
Scream
Yeah,
18 or
that's my
something where the word I was trying to say is said, but I don't remember what that word is.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
They made a second one.
They made a second one. I'm going to say 3.
Nice.
Okay.
Coward Digital Island.
Yeah. You got sucked into the computer and you
Yeah.
went to the Coward Island.
Yep.
Or the metaverse.
Or the
no,
computerized
no,
coward
no.
zone.
Computerized cowards.
Who are we kidding? The entire metaverse is the Coward Island. Is that right?
Whoa,
Ew.
yes.
My name is Dan. I'm third. I had to look around the table to figure out what number I was. I'm going to say 4 as well. I liked this movie a lot as a kid, but it's been a long time, and I feel like there's a lot of ways it couldn't hold up. So 4 is right for me.
For what?
Slacker hacker.
Clickety clacks.
Not as good as Beth's.
I know.
We
it's-
didn't have time
But my
to.
pen has a light on it.
That's cool.
Shine a light.
Shine a light.
Yeah.
Molly Chase, you're last but not least.
Movie
Thank
chase.
you.
Movie Chase.
I appreciate it. I am going to set my sails for computerized Coward Island and stick with 3 slacker hacker clickety clacks
Nice.
because part of me is like, it might be amazing because I've always wanted to see it and I was sort of denied seeing it when I was a kid and I never picked it up again.
Right.
I think there's also like a 20% chance I did see it and totally forgot. So for that reason, I'm a little more optimistic than I'd normally be. I would have normally given it a 2, but instead I'm going to stick it out or set sail. Haha. I'm going to set sail for computerized Coward Island and give it a 3.
Uh-huh.
And with that, we're going to press pause, go watch Tron, and we'll be right back.
Hello, listeners. Welcome to the middle of the podcast. And by middle, I mean probably like the first third.
Yeah.
Folks, we have something out there on the internet that we call patreon.com/totesrecall. Patreon.com/totesrecall
.com.
is a website in which you can support. Come on. You can support this podcast by giving American and maybe other international dollars.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll take any currency.
Just well, I mean, I don't know what Patreon allows you to process. I
It
don't
gets
know.
converted to dollars for us.
Yes. Anyway, check your local Patreon server to see if they'll accept whatever currency you happen to use in the place that you live.
And we convert that money into pizza, salad, and trying to pay Beth for producing and editing this show.
Yes. But you know what else happens? You get stuff in return.
That's
Whoa.
right.
For even a single solitary dollar or some fraction of a euro. you can get access to our Discord where
That's
we have lovely chats and we engage with fans and let them know when we're recording so that they can ask us questions and comments, Q's and C's, which you're probably familiar with if you keep listening to the rest of this episode.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. You can also get cool merch that is exclusive to patrons and cannot be bought at our merch store, which also exists, by the way, totesrecall.com/
Merch.
Is it merch? I
.com.
wanted to say merch, but I wasn't confident on that.
I think it is merch.
Just click on the merch button on the website.
I also think you can go to merch.totesrecall.com,
Whoa.
which is
So
also
cool.
confusing. And I also think for some reason Booty Patrol.totesrecall.com also goes there.
That rules.
I
We
don't
don't
remember
remember
why, but there is a redirect set up for that.
Enjoy that. Enjoy that. And remember that if you keep supporting this show on patreon.com/totesrecall, we might come up with some other dumb bits we don't remember that just exist out in the digital infrastructure of the World Wide Web.
And if that's too many like URLs to remember, you can always just head to totesrecall.com and everything is linked there.
There are links.
That's right.
We
Click them
Click them.
and then smash them.
Click those links. Smash those via
Destroy
Patreon
'em.
buttons on patreon.com/totesrecall. Listen to Dan's incredibly helpful instructions on how to get on Discord.
Exactly.
Join us on the Discord and then continue to enjoy this episode. It's coming back right now.
Pew pew.
And we're back. We just watched 1 hour and 36 minutes of CGI / 2D animation / live action technological spectacular with some very long driving around scenes.
Great.
Wow. We don't even need a 60-second summary. That pretty much summed it up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we'll get the associated awards without officially doing the
That's
segment.
fair.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
If anything, we might get disqualified for future awards.
That's right.
Okay, that's a good point. I take it back.
So let's do it. Let's get hot to the sum, as they say.
Do they?
We're hot
Do
to
they?
trot, and we're trotting towards the 6-second summary.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sum
Clickety
is
clack.
that's something computers do. Calculate sums.
Hey, nice.
The traditional manner of 60-second summary is I do it.
Uh-huh. You want to do it?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, all right.
He's pumped.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Go.
We open on a computer and then the word Tron and it rotates and that's cool. And then Jeff Bridges is hacking, I think, and then we see the inside of the computer that is a guy in a tank and it doesn't work out. Then the evil corporate guys are like, we're shutting down computer, this nice old man and a laser. And then
30 seconds.
the young couple goes and sees Jeff Bridges at the arcade. And they're like, you hacking? He's like, I'm hacking. And then everybody's on board. So they go back to the corporate place to do more hacking. Then the computer puts Jeff Bridges in the computer. And then he's got to help the programs to get the disk from
10
the user
seconds.
and stop master controller. And they ride bikes and have machines. And in the end, they win. And there's some smooching. And maybe they're a throuple at the end.
Time. Wow.
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 Spectacular.
That was a minute?
Amazing.
That was a
you
whole
didn't
minute.
cut it short?
No,
All
So
right.
quickly.
60 minutes.
Wow.
60
I was-
seconds.
Honestly, wishing we had just 20 more seconds because I really wanted to hear you go through that pace for the whole movie. It was really interesting.
I think my favorite, but accurate line was, and then the computer puts Jeff Bridges in the computer. Not wrong.
No.
Not wrong.
That happens.
Listeners, I know it sounds like a 5-year-old telling you about a show they saw one time / a game they just played, but
Yeah.
that is all real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
in the movie.
Obviously 100% Utah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
obviously.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent.
A couple things
Yeah, go for it.
that we should point out is that the reason Jeff Bridges is hacking
Oh, yeah.
is because the guy who has the most insane desk / office in the history of corporate tech companies,
Yeah.
where his entire desk is a computer panel, but it's also so big he couldn't possibly use most of it.
And there's nothing on the desk.
Nothing.
Not even like a coffee cup
No.
or a
Or
pad of paper.
everything on the desk.
Right.
Oh.
Because of the computer.
Because
Yeah.
of computer. But mostly computer is just master control program, like dogging on him and just like, calling him a little bitch. And not in those words, but basically, like.
I was just thinking about the layout of that room,
Yes.
that office. It's like giant, first of all.
So big.
He's got a big old computer
There's
desk.
like 8 chairs, but not all in front of the desk.
That's what I was wondering about. I was like, what are those? Like, why does he have so many chairs and a sofa? Like even if you had a meeting and called everybody in,
Yeah.
you're so far away from the desk that
Yeah.
you can't like see what's
That's
going
the
on.
ultimate power
It's
play
true.
is you can't
Oh.
see. I think honestly what happened is they were trying to figure out the chairs for the office, and they brought in a whole bunch of chairs to try out and then realized how big the set was.
Yeah.
And they were just like, fill it up.
Yeah.
Just put a row, like it's a bus waiting room. Just
Yeah.
put them all
Right.
around the edge.
Because they did have some that matched that were more like a love seat almost. They were just they were very large chairs. And then they had one sofa
Yeah,
that didn't seem like it really fit in. So that,
Probably
that
for
does.
making out.
probably.
Oh, wow.
What?
That's probably the
You think he's
makeout
in there
sofa.
making out?
Hell yeah.
Dillinger,
Dillinger?
seems like not
He's not
down
getting
to
anything.
trot.
No, he's getting nothing.
Sticking with it.
Okay. Listen, we're a horse movie podcast now. We can say down to trot instead. Check the tapes.
Yeah.
Maybe the whole desk like folds up so it can be like a screen. Like everyone can see the screen.
Oh, you
Oh.
can present that way. It looks
Yeah.
very heavy.
It's so heavy.
All that glass and circuit boards.
I'm still not clear if Master Control Program was actually audibly talking for our benefit, or if we were actually to believe that like there is a speaker and the
Oh.
control program is talking to Dillinger.
Well, that would honestly be the least of its capabilities, right? Like it's
I
able
guess.
to vaporize humans and put them in a computer
Well,
and
lady and old man developed a laser.
Oh,
he just
that's
took
true.
advantage of it.
Yeah,
Wow.
he
It
has controlled
just took advantage of it.
Yeah.
so this is basically
We haven't even talked about the laser.
early morality play about AI, right? Because
Yeah.
Master
Yeah.
Control starts out as a chess game
Yep.
Yeah.
and then becomes what some very specific number, like 2,415% smarter
Yeah.
than he had been. And then wants to like break into the Pentagon.
Yeah.
And he also
Yeah.
gained that ability by just scraping data from other independent programs that he had no association with. So it is like the
It
early
is.
AI morality question.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
Do you think
Harvesting-
someone sent another person back to make Tron
Okay.
as a warning and we just all misinterpreted it?
Oh, because we were like, this movie's a little too boring.
Wow.
So we didn't pay
Tron.
enough attention to it.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Too
Because humans
early.
love lights. Just do a lot of lights.
I bet that movie is really cool in the theater.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my TV's not that big.
It was great, Beth.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you for accommodating us.
Yeah. Computer is harvesting programs, and
Yes.
then we see that representation inside computer world
Computer world is bananas.
of like everybody's got sort of like safety gear on.
But also a toga
Yeah.
or something.
Right? It's like gladiatorial and futuristic at the same time, and programs are being taken and made to fight each other after their functions are stripped from them.
Yeah, and only
for fun?
programs that are supportive of the idea that users are gods.
Or that users are real, that like believe in them. I think it's like a whole allegory about the Christians being slaughtered in the arenas by Romans.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's like a religious component to it that I did not clock at all as a
Oh,
child.
no
Like,
way.
No.
where yeah, like Molly was saying, they're the ones that believe users are real, like people, are made to fight to the death.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, I don't know. There's just like there's a weird mythology, a religious aspect to it that I wasn't sure what they're going for.
Well,
Maybe
that
it
was
is.
all Disney.
Disney insisted there be a
Yeah.
Christian allegory.
No, but so the original screenplay was written by Bonnie McBird, who gets a story writing credit But she wrote the original screenplay and, in fact, fell in love with the director.
Oh.
Yeah. And they got married.
Wow.
What?
Pre or post Tron?
Well, this was it must have been pre-Tron because it took a long time.
Sure.
But they worked so closely together. Anyway, so she wrote the whole script, and that was great. They shopped it around, couldn't get anybody to buy it, even though they had invested all this money in this animation company and had done a proof of concept. And they finally decided to take it to Walt Disney World. And they said, great, we'll take it. And we're going to add a lot of sciencey stuff, add this weird God stuff, and then take out every single line that she wrote.
Whoa.
No.
And then there was a bitter battle for whether she'd be credited at all. And in the end, they did story credit.
Yuck.
Wild.
Yeah.
What was it supposed to be about then? I mean, was it still about computer makes man go in computer?
I think so,
Okay.
but I think it was just funnier. It was more lighthearted. And they made it very serious.
Like fart jokes and pratfalls?
Now, I don't know that they went that far. But yeah, I think it was like more... It was an adventure more than a dark adventure. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Probably would like
Interesting.
that more. I was laughing because you said they took it to Walt Disney World, and I just had the idea of them
Like going right to the gate and be like, hello?
and then they like take it on one of those teacup rides.
Yeah.
Just try it out.
Yeah, I mean I assume that's how Disney Corp still does business.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, come to the park, and they
Show
pitch
up.
meetings on the teacup ride.
Yeah.
If you don't barf, you can have a second meeting.
Yeah.
Or you can just always say, oh, yeah, I took it to Disney. They haven't said yes yet.
Right.
Yeah.
And then at one point, the guy on the teacup insists that they spin the teacup 19 times. Exactly 19 times.
Oh, call back.
Yeah, that's a bummer to hear that they took all of her stuff out of there, because I bet that stuff was good.
That's
I mean, that's
This is
a bold bet.
It's a bold bet, but it was missing a little personality for me. And so if that's what she brought to the table
Right.
originally, I would have liked to see that.
Did she also bring women talking to each other?
We
I
can only
mean,
assume.
it was so close. Like if only the older laser guru
Yeah.
who turns into a sphinx,
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Accurate.
We'll talk about it.
if that had been cast as a woman,
Yep.
it would have passed.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Even
so
if-
much laser talk.
There was a lot of laser talk, and the first time we meet the one lady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she plays the two female characters, the same actress.
Even if those two, do they talk to each other?
No.
No.
Okay. So Lori and Yori are the two versions.
Laura.
Laura and Yori.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Anyway, the first time her as Laura gets spoken to, she gets mansplained in a harsh and irrelevant way.
I mean, not like harsh in his tone, but just like.
She says, "Here goes nothing."
And he's like, oh, hell.
actually,
you could
taking
say, here
something,
goes something
nothing.
because we're making the laser.
And then 1 second later, he says, "Let it rip."
I know. It's like clearly she was in complete control of the situation.
It was such a good moment though, because he's like, just being so pedantic about it, and she just has to like kind of smile and nod,
Yeah,
and it's like the perfect mansplaining.
She did actually perform that scene. Like, she
like,
was just kind of like, yeah, just like looking ahead at her terminal.
Remember how we did this whole thing together this whole time, and I knew what I was doing?
So I'm just gonna do transformative science now.
Yeah, we should talk about the laser. So we have learned that this entire company is Income,
Yeah.
who like
.com.
Income.com.
They make video games.
They
but
make
also
software in general, I think, but maybe like their money makers are the arcade games, right?
Yeah.
And then apparently they have some like Gremlins 2 style secret lab where they're like,
Yeah.
we're gonna make a laser that transports things through the computer.
So
Right?
if you wanted to make an orange game, for example,
Yes.
Well, I think the idea was it goes in the computer and then it comes back out.
Yes.
So it's like a precursor to teleportation
Yes.
technology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
so it's not like a precursor to meta.
bring it into the metaverse.
You bring it into the metaverse.
You guys know that you
so
don't actually
much.
go into the metaverse.
No, you
Yeah,
do.
you do.
Oh.
That's what I've been told is that you go into the metaverse,
Yeah.
and that's where you can have wonderful opportunities related to commerce and
Legless
learning.
opportunities.
There's no
Still
legs.
Oh, well, there might be legs now. I can't remember. The first time they announced legs, it was bullshit. That was all. It was all smoke and mirrors, which is hilarious.
I thought it was very similar technology to the Wonka Vision.
It is
thing.
absolutely.
Yeah, the TV,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
TV one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then
for sure.
except for everything shrinks, right? In that
Yeah.
one,
Yeah,
Yes.
So
Whereas
just
in
have a
this
tiny orange.
Yeah, in this case, you get the same regular size orange back, which is
Wow.
pretty incredible.
But
Yeah,
then
that
what
is.
is the point?
What?
teleportation.
You can send an orange from one location to another.
Only
location.
oranges, though. We should make it clear.
Well,
like,
in that case, in their test, they
Yeah.
should have moved the orange from one place to the other.
I agree.
Yeah,
it did
that-
feel
They
like it was
just
missing a
returned
scene.
it to where it was.
Oh, it's early in
yeah.
the process.
Oh, sure. Did it even show the orange getting reprinted?
I don't think
think it
so.
did.
It just was like, look, there it is, pixel.
Yeah, and then like old man mansplain was just like, oh, and then we take it out again or whatever. But they don't actually show it, which is weird because they clearly that was clearly very important to the plot because you see Jeff Bridges also get re-spit out later in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except for when he gets digitized.
it's fucked up.
Yeah, he gets turned. It's like slices them in a bunch
like
of.
individual
But
fingers.
Yeah.
it's like a dot matrix printer, but
Yes.
in reverse.
Yes,
Yep.
it was wild.
Very exciting. P.S. A dot matrix printer cost like $1,400, like 2 or 3 years after this movie was made.
Wow.
That's wild.
We had one.
Ooh, braggy.
Were those the
California.
ones that had the paper on the side?
Yes.
The little holes.
The little holes.
Very
Yeah.
satisfying to tear those
Yeah,
out.
it is.
Yeah.
And then take two of them and fold them together, and you can make a little spring.
Oh, I still do that all the time.
Still do it.
Well, with
They're
straw
done.
wrappers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Are you hiding a dot matrix printer from us?
Yeah.
We had one eventually. I wonder if it was one that was somebody got a new inkjet or whatever.
That was some big time technology.
Yeah,
Right?
it was. I remember in elementary school, it was like a very satisfying and powerful feeling to print a banner out on one of those. You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about? Like
Yes.
every page would just be like a giant letter made out of little
Yes.
chunks of ink.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes made out of the very letter that you were spelling, I believe.
Yeah, that's clever. Very satisfying, crunchy noise.
and you could
when it
tell it
prints.
to put little ribbons or other
Yeah.
shit decor around it.
Print time or whatever it
Yeah.
was called.
And it only took 100 hours.
Yeah, but it probably worked better. Man, why can't they
do you
get
mean?
Here we
printers
go.
right?
Here we go.
Oh,
Here we
I
go.
don't know. They are the
They've been around
worst.
for so long,
So
and
long.
they work like shit still.
We have an amazing printer. I don't mean to brag, but we have an excellent printer at
Wow.
home.
Does
Really?
Ted own the company that made the printer?
Yeah.
Now, okay,
Turner
all right.
printer?
You can just turn
Turnercom.
down this hatred of a person none of us know.
That's my point.
Listen, if you had over time collected a handful of outrageous anecdotes about a person that is both very distant and very close,
Yes. Outrageous and very specific anecdotes that couldn't
Yes.
possibly be diverted from your version of them.
I mean, I have to know a little better than you.
Sounds like a real master control.
Wow.
Speaking of Master Controller, it rules.
Yes.
It's got a crazy deep voice and a giant computer head.
Oh.
It looks like the cover of some album.
Ooh.
What
Yeah,
album
like
is that?
a Pink Floyd
It's like a
thing with
green,
big head.
meshy face.
Okay. I love it.
Okay, I think
It's like a wireframe head.
it's a wireframe head.
Oh.
I can't think of what the actual one is, but on Animal Crossing, there's a version.
They make fun of it or they parody it.
They kind of
Oh,
parody it. Yeah.
Parrot.
Parrot.
It.
KK
Oh,
Techno or
wow.
something like
Are there
that.
parrots in Animal Crossing?
No.
Fuck. All right. Never mind.
Wow.
It's good.
Release
Maybe
the parrot cut.
maybe there is a parrot animal
At
that
least-
it just has not visited my island specifically,
Oh,
so
I see.
I don't know
Hey,
about
You
it.
would
Parrots?
think that parrots would be on every island.
Yes. There's
I also
mean,
agree.
as far as birds go,
Yeah.
there's
Have you gotten any birds?
Well,
Are
There's-
you a bird?
no.
Oh, okay.
Are you a bird, Beth?
Bad. If you're a bird, you
Wow.
have to tell us.
Tweet.
Oh!
No, there are animals on the island that are like characters that like live on your island.
Yes.
And then there's also birds that like stand on a sign when there's a new message.
Oh.
That's how you know to go check the message board.
Is it the same bird every time?
No, during the day it's a little yellow canary, maybe.
Please tell me it's an owl at night.
It is an owl at
Oh,
night.
yes.
Night bird.
Anyway, shout out to Animal Crossing.
Shout out to Animal Crossing.
Getting me through the year 2020.
Yeah, that would be an all right game to be sucked into.
Sure.
Pretty chill.
But aren't you in like crippling debt to a raccoon or something?
Yes,
I mean,
that
but
is
then
true.
you
You're
pay
right.
off all your debt and then you become very rich.
Ooh.
You get bells and you can buy whatever you want.
Nice.
Okay, some people on the island do that. Everybody else has to continue to live in servitude.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my gosh.
You just have to get 3 other people to play the game.
I
You'll
see.
be
Okay.
rich in no time.
I get it now. What were we talking about?
Speaking of
Tron.
game,
The movie
Tron.
Tron. Yeah.
They've got attack frisbee.
Yes.
They've got highlight, make your ground go away.
Yeah. It
They
was like
got-
Squid Game highlight.
Yeah, light bikes.
So cool.
Those might be. And then
Yeah, those are 3.
and then some tanks
Games.
that shoot, but that's not really a game they play in the game.
I'm still okay, so there's a point. We first see a tank when it is Jeff Bridges hacking.
Yeah.
So like the tank is the hack? Is that the idea? Like he uses the tank to like blast through firewalls
He
or
does
something?
say something about like, this is the best code I've ever written.
So
And then
that
there's a
must be-
later line where he's like, I shouldn't have written so many tank programs, and then like an army of tanks follows them.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
must be some functions running
Maybe that's
in
like
them.
maybe that's like a code joke from the 80s. Maybe they just called them tank programs if they just like blasted in
Oh,
and
because they tank your
retrieved data. I have no idea.
data.
Yep, tank your data.
Tank it or leave it.
Thank you. Next. Ariana Tron Day.
Oh, we got there.
Incredible podcast.
It's so weird how we only win awards for our 60-second
I
summary.
know.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying.
When
Yeah,
I
Tron
feel
Day.
like we should be running that segment,
Every
segue.
minute of this
Yeah.
show is award worthy.
Speaking of that,
Please.
like this movie is full of stuff like where they're just like replacing regular phrases with like
Yeah.
computerized versions
yeah.
of them. I can't even think of any off the top of my
first,
head, but
like when they first get into the program prison, I feel like half of their conversation is like that, where like every couple of words is replaced by like, yeah, I'm trying to remember any of them now, but they were very specific.
yes.
And do
Yeah.
you think somebody probably tapped this out on maybe an electric typewriter?
Maybe.
Like possibly. I mean, because like the Lisa, the first Mac, like I don't know, whatever the Mac 1 that first came out, that was like 84.
Yeah, this was 82. I don't know if we said that yet.
Yeah,
no
that
one
it was-
bet, but Molly was closest.
Yep.
And I really wanted to change my answer to
We
82
know.
once I
Okay.
remembered the video arcade
Okay.
situation.
Yeah, we know.
But yeah, the world is very specific to
Yes.
like it's a computer society and they're sentient programs, and I appreciated that. It's very the world feels very full and confusing.
Is
at
the
same
whole
time.
thing, here's my question, is the entire world that we see in the movie, is that all on computers at NCOM?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Master Computers. Is that his name?
Master Control Program.
Master Control Programs.
MCP.
Yeah, you know me. His purview, right?
You know me. End of line. Acknowledge.
/N. Yeah, it's Master Computer. I'm just gonna say it. I can't remember it.
Just say MCP.
MCP's purview, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's all NCOM servers, but we were wondering how much networking there was, and it is going out and like hacking the Kremlin at the Pentagon.
Yeah.
So there's Netvember networking. But yeah, I think everything is NCOM servers,
Okay.
right? That's where
Yeah,
they
yeah,
all
yeah.
go. These are programs that it's like stealing from banks and stuff. Like
Yeah.
one of the sad programs is a banking one, and the other is an actuary program.
Yeah.
RAM, sweet RAM.
Oh, sweet RAM.
Okay, so when Master Computer is like, I want to go hack into government
Yeah.
things now.
Yeah.
I'm bored of, what does he say?
Corporations.
I'm bored of corporations.
Yeah.
Do you think, so the corporations are working with NCOM to create their programming?
I think it's like malicious takeovers.
Oh, okay.
Stealing programs.
Yeah.
Which is wild because they don't move anywhere.
Right.
Servers and acquisitions. Am I right?
Wow.
Absolutely incredible.
Another award just broke through the window.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea is that Master Control Program was like, oh, I figured out how to just like incorporate other people's code over the network. And Dillinger, who's like the guy with the incredible desk, he was just like, okay, and it's decided to just be the evil tech company.
Yeah.
And then now he's lost control, of the control program.
Yeah.
Because now it wants to steal government secrets.
So why does he want to do that? Like, what's the benefit
The
for him?
MCP?
No, the Dillinger.
Oh, blackmail.
What?
Like,
he's being blackmailed by the master computer. Okay.
Because initially I think he was like, yes, money. We're growing our empire that I've stolen from Flynn's video games that somehow maybe rocket to like the most powerful executive position of the company.
Which is just senior exec,
Apparently.
by the way.
Yeah, so there must be like an actual board that we just don't see. Who knows what their desks look
Oh my
like?
gosh. They're definitely vampires, but it's fine.
Oh, totally. No, that actually makes a lot of sense.
If that's what his office looks like,
Right?
I mean, I can't even.
And the fucking helicopters, they have Tron copters in the real world. With the crazy lights.
I love that.
I did too.
So what is he blackmailed on?
So Flynn, Jeff Bridges, the handsome programmer.
Yeah.
Very
He is
One
very handsome.
might say daring.
Yeah. And he does pop his shirt off for no reason.
For no reason.
Amazing.
And like
He
a
literally-
huge flex in front of his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend.
Literally, because he owns his own arcade apparently and lives above it. He pops off his like Flynn's t-shirt only to put on a different Flynn's t-shirt that's black.
Yeah.
Because he's going to hack somewhere. I think that's his hacking color.
Oh, yeah, undercover.
Yeah.
Even though it says his name in giant letters.
Anyway, so he explains that he wrote all these, he built like 5 video games, and then suddenly he lost access to his work at NCOM, and then lo and behold, a month or two later, Dillinger shows up and presents these 5 video games that he wrote.
Yeah.
And so what's happening then is Master Control is basically threatening to expose Dillinger for stealing Flynn's programming.
Okay.
Which we learned by the end of the movie does in fact work and requires like no effort on Flynn's part once it's clear that happened. And it's apparently clear simply by printing out the date that Flynn made it and the date that Dillinger stole it on a piece of paper that then says, this is priority 1.
Yeah, somehow it being priority 1 is very crucial.
Because he
it's
it's priority 1 and like giggles and does a little dance.
Yeah, but it's just a memo.
Like, what does that mean?
That
And there's not even any like sending information on that piece of paper.
Yeah, it's
It's
just like
the body of the memo.
someone just took a note. It's like Dillinger took a note, like I stole this on this day. Ha ha ha. Now I'll save this. Why?
It's like a convoluted reverse mailing yourself your work for patent reasons or something. Anyway, that's why he's not stopping the control from taking government secrets.
Okay. I
'Cause he
didn't
made that
catch
fake
part of it.
newspaper, right?
What?
Yes,
That's what
Master
confused
Control
me.
Program
displayed a fake
fake newspaper
headline.
of Dillinger being put away to jail for stealing Flynn's.
So
I
that's
missed
wild
that.
to
I
me.
missed the whole section.
that
I
he-
probably went to get a piece of pizza.
Yeah.
that he would go to jail for stealing some game IP when his computer was off, like breaking into the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I guess because then the program would expose itself, right?
Yeah.
Or something.
But
It's a bit of
Frankenstein's monster doesn't care about exposing Frankenstein, you know?
Yeah, he wants to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Flynn wrote all those games on
Work computer.
NCOM's computers, which often puts you
Most
in,
policies
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you sign
Pretty
say
shaky
that
ground for that being
anything you
yours.
build, This was 82 though. So
Yeah.
computers were still
who knows,
gobbledygook,
I mean,
laser machines.
People writing policies didn't understand what computers were, so
yeah, I
he
mean,
was
they
probably in the
still
clear.
barely do.
Oh,
you could argue.
boy.
IP acquisition.
Yes. What I love about Tron World though is like what is essentially just like corporate espionage is presented as this like fascist gulag in the digital world.
Yeah.
Where programs are like imprisoned and then eventually brought to Master Control's crazy spinning column head and like absorbed into him
Yeah.
like the most horrible theme park ride ever.
Do you think that the people who made this movie saw the movie Star Wars?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they probably heard about it at least.
Yeah. Because I didn't see any similarities between the
like
two. But
aesthetic choices.
yeah,
That were
it wasn't just
deceptively
computer Star Wars, but
Just, like having a little sidekick character who is so cute
Just
and
saying.
makes the cutest
Bit.
little noises.
yeah.
I loved Bit.
Bit going, no, 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 was like cracked me up. It was
best.
just
Yeah.
fantastic.
Really good. That whole scene with the laser, what are they called? Laser bikes?
Light bikes.
Light bikes.
Light cycles.
It's just so much like the scene in Star Wars where they're flying through the whatever.
Well, when did Jedi come out, though?
Was that after? I was wondering about that.
Wasn't Return of the Jedi the first one? Wait,
Molly.
How could it
that's the
return?
third one? Second one.
Third one.
With the Ewoks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. That didn't really help me. 83?
Maybe.
Yeah.
When is
Does anyone have a computer?
No.
But the first one has that a scene like that in it,
That's like 78, right?
where they're flying through the Death Star to
Yeah.
shoot the something. I don't know. I've seen that movie like 50 times.
Yeah,
I still
Luke
don't
is
know
on the
most.
thing and
Sure.
he's zipping around the planet.
Okay.
You know, that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we nailed it.
I will say that
like the-
I was not expecting to find the light cycle
Yeah.
gameplay so exciting. I
That's
thought that
cool.
was very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that like 1,000 times more than like the bracketed things plopping down on people or the tanks,
Oh, sure.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it probably helped that was like the sound design there was like, what if we just made it sound like super cool motorcycles?
Yeah.
Whereas everything else was like, what if they just made like weird humming noises or like maybe there's a mouse in the background somewhere squeaking?
Yeah, there was some squeaking that I didn't understand.
It was a Mickey Mouse reference.
Oh.
She doesn't know.
It's a reference to like a
kidding.
computer mouse.
I guess.
Oh, yeah, like for clicking.
Clicky to clack.
Was it just supposed to be the sound of like data passing by or
Who
something?
knows? It was wild.
It was the sound of like the wheels for the hamsters turning
That power the computers.
Yeah.
Oh, that checks out. That checks out. It's 1982. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Speaking of sound design,
Please.
so the sound was designed by an electronic music artist named Wendy Carlos, who's a pioneer. And like, if you look on Wikipedia, they say what
On what?
exact. Oh no!
Wikipedia.org.
Give us your $3.
$3 from every user acknowledged.
Kind of line.
But if you go on that particular website, they will tell you like I'm sure you can look it up elsewhere too, but the exact model of electronic music device
Oh, that she, like,
used for
used?
synths. Yeah.
Neato.
But apparently, so the reason there's orchestral music
Yes.
included,
We should
because I
talk
think
about
that
the
came
score.
up during the movie.
Yeah, I've got a little whiplash. Like sometimes it was this cool synth stuff that made sense for a computer movie, and then other times it was like,
It just sounded like Star Wars.
yeah,
Well,
Thick Williams.
Dick Williams.
yeah, it was. They hired out the London Philharmonic Orchestra. I mean, I'm sure somebody composed the music as well to do some of the music because they were really worried she wasn't going to finish the music in time.
Oh.
So that's why it's kind of
So
layered
like
in.
this entire movie's production is just like the story of not trusting women to do their
Yeah.
art. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah, the movie itself that happens.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a moment where I wrote this down that there were certain, and I guess this explains it when they were, I guess people had different ideas of how this movie should be scored. Because like there were parts of this movie where it was like, it felt like the thinnest of Williams we've ever had in a movie. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, it's just silence. The only sounds are the beep boops of like just interacting with the computer world for a long time. It's weird. It's like unsettling, which I guess is maybe what they were going for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised at how little music is actually in the movie.
Yeah. There were times you were like, this wouldn't have to be quiet, would it?
Yeah.
And I usually don't notice. So,
Yeah. Maybe we're just so used to it now where like there's always
Yeah,
music telling
everything
you how
has
to
to be.
feel about something.
yeah.
I thought the movie was visually stunning.
So neat.
It's really cool. Like, and something that stood out to me is like the computer animation is obviously like, you know, it has a long way to go.
Sure.
But I think that they kind of like leaned into that and made it part of the style. So like everything is kind of like this like wireframe look.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. And I liked how I don't know, it was interesting too. Like all the characters are like kind of in black and white. And then they've got this blue glow on them or a red glow, depending on if they're good or bad.
Yeah.
Or like a light blue glow if you're a tank driver, apparently. Like a teal or something.
They got their
Periwinkle.
colors kind of mixed up. Some of the stuff they had already decided on,
sure.
and then they had to go back and change it. So it's not super consistent.
It's like how sometimes the lightsabers were white and sometimes they were green in the original Star Wars.
Whoa.
Yep.
Wow.
These things happen. But I agree. I thought it was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, the whole world was and like it was actually neat when he got reverse dot matrix printed into the computer, where like when they took you through like the journey into computer world.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, it sort of set you up to accept that aesthetic when it like, as you came into it, it was like a little planet and there were like weird blocky clouds going over like a weird looking ocean and stuff. Yeah, it was neat.
And then we get pretty deep into the movie. We start to see our first computer people that aren't wearing like helmets with circuits, and they're like Star Wars, like
wild.
Weird alien canteen.
Yeah,
creatures.
What was that?
It was very random.
And it was like one scene.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it didn't make much sense. like,
We're like an
I still
hour
don't
into the
know.
movie.
Yeah.
There was like one line that explained who they were, and
Yeah.
I didn't understand it because it was like computer nonsense.
And there was also like a very cool like spidery creature at one
yeah,
point.
the grid bugs.
Yeah, what happened to those?
Oh yeah, they
just
never
like
came back.
They just like kind of were like, "Oh, I'm a grid bug," and then they never showed them again.
And Yor even said like, as long as we can avoid those grid bugs, we'll be fine. It's like,
I
but
guess they did.
I guess
Yeah.
they did. They never got in the way. So
That feels like it was in the script, and then they made the grid bugs, and they're like, we can't afford to actually put them in any scenes.
like just animating their birth cost us $7 million.
Yeah. And then we get Walter, who's the old mansplainer, also becomes like the computer program that allows programs to communicate with their users.
Yeah, the I/O port.
As Molly,
gates,
I think, explained, turns into a Sphinx.
Basically, yeah.
And he's great. It sort of gives like all those other 80s kind of action family movies, like Never Ending Story and that sort of thing, where it's like just weird.
Yeah, like it's such a weird,
like Jim Henson's stuff.
and he's got this like amazing like semi Pope hat on.
Yeah, he's like built into the floor.
Yeah, and he like spins around. It's so cool.
Yeah,
With like real hands just kind of popping out the side.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then I have questions.
I do too.
Because I thought that was his body. And
Me
then
too.
later,
They just pull him out.
yeah, he's like just been laying
Just a
in that
guy.
thing, just like on his his feet behind him in there.
I guess,
Like
yeah.
he's looking at a magazine or something.
Yeah, maybe it's like an Oscar the Grouch situation where like he's actually got like a whole living area underneath that weird thing.
Oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
They take his hat though, which is
Rude.
rude.
Not cool. Dumont.
The acting style was also so interesting. Jeff Bridges is exuberant in real life.
Yes.
With his curls, just handsome curls, just bouncing all over the
Yes,
place.
and his perfectly smooth chest.
Yeah, my word.
My word.
But there's a great scene when they're breaking into NCOM. And first of all, oh, by the way, they filmed some of it in like a actual U.S. military situation. And there's this one part where they open this door.
Yes.
And the door opening takes like a really long time. And at one point, Jeff Bridges says something like, "That's quite a door."
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's real. It's part of this military
Is
installation.
that at the Lawrence Livermore Labs? They filmed some stuff
yeah,
there.
that
what?
seems
It's a real
correct.
lab. Lawrence
Didn't read
Livermore.
that closely.
what do they do in the lab? Is that where like they
it's a
keep
lab.
kaiju eggs or something? Why do they have that giant door?
Yeah,
Lasers?
I think they do a lot of like government defense, how to make explosives
I
sort
see.
of stuff.
Sure, you gotta have big doors for that.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where she's leading him to where he'll eventually sit by the orange and be turned into, have
Yes.
the computer bring him into the computer.
Yeah.
And he does this like Scooby-Doo sneak.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
god.
That was
Wackadoo.
absolutely amazing.
Like lithe and like fluid.
And meanwhile, she's just like
walk.
walking normally. It is pretty amazing.
And he's not that of a stinker about it when he like comes out, like when he hide behind one of the servers and then like pops out at her.
Yeah.
Like he's clearly like, he kind of like, haha, chuckles. And she's like, ugh. But like, he doesn't seem to be having that much fun. But it seemed like that was the idea, is like he was just goofing, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's flirting. He's getting his flirt on.
That's true.
Yeah.
We should talk about the romance in this movie.
Hey, first of all, up top, there is a romance.
Hell yes.
That was a
Nice.
hot bet from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, can we just 1 second? I just realized, as Molly described him sitting next to the orange, that it is like for something where they had to like clear the area, wear goggles, wear protective static cling suits.
Yeah.
Why is her desk so close to the laser gun?
Yeah, and with the laser
Pointing
pointed
right
at
at
her desk. Shouldn't it be in a big box?
Did
or
Master
something?
Control like quietly have it come out of its box and like move towards the desk?
Yeah.
Did they cut a scene where the laser was just like also sneaking through the room?
Yeah, that's not safe.
No.
But,
80s.
So there's a woman,
Thank God, right?
Laura. She is the ex-girlfriend of Flynn and the current girlfriend, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Of Alan?
Alan. Yeah, because they smooch when he first comes down to Laser Town.
We didn't really explain. Alan
Oh, right.
is Tron.
He created Tron.
He created
and
Tron,
also
so it's
plays
the
Tron.
same actor. And Alan is not cool, and Tron is so cool.
So cool.
That's confusing to me.
I guess he expressed himself, his inner self, through Tron.
I see. Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what Tron is short for?
What?
What?
Oh.
Electron or electronic.
Huh.
Oh, I get it.
Okay.
I thought that was neat.
I mean, they all kind of have computer names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clue.
Ram.
Ram. Crom, I think, was one of them.
Yeah.
Which is short for electron.
Electrom. Yeah. No, we all know. We all got it. Yeah.
And there was, bit, short for elect bit.
Uh-huh.
And
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Short for Elect Bridges.
Yep.
Yori. Electori.
Yori.
Yori Electric.
Yep.
Computer.
Computer.
So
What were we talking about?
we're talking about the romance of this movie. So then Yori, who is Laura's program, all the people,
Yeah, I had a
the
question.
actors for the computer, the programs are acted by the same actors as the people who created the program's actors.
We're supposed to accept that as like that is the rule throughout.
That seems to be true.
It's only ever made explicitly clear with Jeff Bridges' Tank Guy and Tron.
And it's like they're made in God's image.
Yeah.
Ah.
And Dillinger and everybody
But
who's
didn't
Dillinger and Sark.
didn't Dillinger make Master Control? So then did Master Control just create Sark to like mock as a mockery?
But Master Control was so old.
Yeah, we get like one frame of seeing the true Master Controller's true face,
Which is like-
I don't understand what they're doing there.
It's like even more of a Sphinx.
yeah,
I wonder if he took an old program and changed some of the code.
yeah. I think
And-
he sort of says that, like, no one made me. I evolved.
Yeah.
From
Well, he
blah, blah,
started
blah,
as a
blah, blah.
chess game.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm assuming that the chess game was written by that old man that falls out of Master Control when he gets frisbeed to death.
Okay, sure.
accurate.
Okay, yeah. So maybe Dillinger wrote Sark to like poke the chess program, and then eventually the chess program got too powerful or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know.
I accept.
That's
Whatever it
that's
is,
the
I accept.
backstory that I have created in my head.
Death by Frisbee.
Oh, frisbee death.
But-
So cool.
Yori,
Yes.
the lady program,
Yes.
seems to have a relationship with Tron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they know each other. They have history.
Smooch upon seeing each other, right?
I thought they just embraced. I don't think they smooched till the end.
But
Right?
it's definitely like a loving embrace.
I mean,
Yeah.
he seems like very concerned for her when she seems to be a different program
yeah.
at first.
And he also, the first thing he says is like, we have to make plans for our
Right.
future.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it really seemed like
And
there's
then,
something going on.
Jeff Bridges thinks Yori is Laura,
And he is
and he's
down to Tron.
down to Trot.
Digitally.
Yeah, digital to Trot. Down to Electrot.
Jesus Christ.
Boy.
And Tron, like,
Notices.
notices and gets his way. But then maybe Tron dies, or Tron doesn't die, but they think he's dead.
Hold
maybe.
on. We have to. You're jumping ahead from
Oh.
a very important point with this whole thing you're talking about. Because,
Okay.
like, yes, Tron clocks that and kind of gets in his way.
Yeah.
But as they're journeying back to Master Control, Flynn is like hanging for his life on the end of that ship, And Tron pulls him up, and there is a moment between
there's
those
a couple
two.
moments where
There is like tension there. There is
Tron and
a
Flynn,
palpable sexual tension between the two of them.
digital to electron.
What?
Let's just stick with Down to Trot.
Downlo-
That was pretty funny.
Download to electron.
Oh,
Now I
download.
love it. But yeah, I mean, there are a couple moments where like those two seem into each other.
Yeah.
Well, in that moment, what's his face? Hold on. What's I can't remember anyone's name.
Flynn.
Which
Flynn.
Tron.
Okay.
the user?
So Flynn has
Yes.
turned red for some reason.
Right.
His like
Because
his
he
lights.
killed a guard
Yeah.
and absorbed his.
Went
which
undercover
is because
program?
of it was a crime of passion.
Yes, sure.
Then
That makes sense.
Tron saves him and pulls him up, and they make really intense
right.
eye contact, and they're touching, and he turns blue because of another passionate feeling.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
Checks out.
yep, there it is.
Yep.
They take a digital space solar sail
program.
to the center of
Control Town.
Control
or
Town.
whatever.
and then they think Tron dies,
Yes.
but then they see him.
yes.
Anyway, before Flynn jumps into the giant head beam,
Yes.
Flynn and Yori big time smooch.
Big time smooch.
Yeah,
And then Flynn disappears, and then Yori is like down with Tron again.
Yeah. Like immediately when she comes down to the surface, she smooches Tron.
Now they're smooching. Like, I'm supportive of whatever's going on,
Maybe.
but it seems like it's just free love.
Maybe
in
it's part
Computer
of,
Town.
Maybe it's part of Yori's programming where like once her companion program is thought to have been deleted, she seeks out another one. So like when she thinks
main
Tron is
program.
dead, she smooches Flynn, and then when she thinks Flynn is dead, she immediately is like, "Oh, I should smooch Tron.
I have to be smooching.
I
the man
have to
program.
smooch. I must smooch, man."
at that point in time, though,
Yes.
Doesn't Flynn say, "This is the only way I can help
Yes.
Tron"?
Correct.
Yeah.
So they know Tron
Yes,
is not
correct.
dead.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
It is very confusing.
Yeah.
Unless it's not confusing, and
Oh, right.
it's
Really?
not. There's no monogamous
I mean,
relationships
the end
in
of
the
the
computer.
movie implies that maybe computer rules have gone into the real world.
Yeah, we're at IRL. Flynn comes down in a helicopter because he's the boss now.
Apparently, because the half memo that said
Priority
Dillinger,
one.
priority one, Dillinger stole on this date, Flynn made on this date. Apparently, they brought it to
The vampire.
the
board.
vampire board, and they were like,
You're the boss now.
You're the human boss now.
Make us more money with your video
with your
games.
stupid computer programs while we use the money to have young blood boys hang out with us in our mansions connected by it's a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, look it up. There's
we
a,
all know about it.
look up dad, son,
No.
grandfather blood transfusions.
What?
Just it's a guy. There's some weird rich guy who's like not stealing, voluntarily taking his son's blood to like stay healthier. And then maybe his grandpa is also
taking his son's
like
blood.
they do a blood transfusion.
They're all swapping blood.
They're not all swapping blood. I think it's like a chain where like young, hot son gives his blood to man, dad, and grandfather to like help them stay young or something. Listen, tech billionaires are weird.
Yeah.
Well, and then would you feel sort of compelled if your granddad was a billionaire and like?
I don't think he's the billionaire. I think it's his dad. His dad like, give some of your blood to grandpa too.
It's like give blood to me and grandpa or you're out.
Right. Maybe.
Yeah.
Just imagine saying like, "Go hug your grandma." You're like,
Yeah, right.
Go
Go give some blood to grandpa.
Transfusion.
Thanksgiving is gonna be
Come on.
so
he's,
weird.
he's always so happy when you're here. Just give him some blood.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
So that
Tron.
the
What do
finals
you
is
mean
Tron.
you made plans to go to the mall?
Yeah,
Give your granddad some blood.
I'm trying to get to. There's a thruple in this
The
movie.
vampire. Okay,
It's a
so
throw.
yes, the vampires. They either made Flynn the new senior executive or just gave him helicopter privileges. It's not totally clear.
Yeah.
Probably both.
Yeah.
But he comes and like meets Alan and Laura
We're still
on
like
the rooftop.
they're very close.
Yeah,
they're
they're-
nuzzling up against each other.
putting arms around each other,
Yeah.
but then they all are putting arms around each other at the
Yes.
end.
Okay.
Movie
And I think
ends.
they're just like they're gonna go.
They're like, why not?
Clickety clack. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Is maybe like once they had their meeting with the vampire board, they're like, oh, we should go celebrate. And just in conversation, Jeff Bridges was like, listen, I learned some things in computer world, and I
Yeah.
really want to talk to you guys about it.
Yeah. All right.
It was 82.
As long as they are all consenting
Yeah.
adults.
No, I'm into it.
I mean, I'm a little concerned about the power dynamic between Flynn, the new
Yeah,
CEO,
that's
and
true.
two of his
That's
employees.
true. That's a little weird.
I have a new theory
Okay.
that
Okay.
Flynn actually just ends up suing the company for like
The helicopter.
for the helicopter. Well, I guess he doesn't work there anymore. But I was thinking like that'd be like a big workman's comp suit if like you got sucked into.
That's true.
Sure.
I mean, I guess that's true. I didn't even think about it from a legal standpoint. It's like, okay, so a guy stole my IP years ago and used it to become the head of the company. Then the program that he ostensibly wrote absorbed me into the servers and tried to murder me.
And I
yeah.
feel like the judge would say, hold on there. Now, it absorbed your program? No. It absorbed me like an orange.
And then he's
it
like,
would
carry
just
on.
kick
Of
it
course,
out.
yes.
like
carry
an
on.
orange, and the judge would know exactly what that meant.
Yes.
The old downloadable orange.
I love the idea of that being the plan for that product rollout. It was only designed to digitize and deliver citrus.
Yeah. I mean, you got to
Then
get that.
Master Control was like, no, I'm going to be reckless. I'm Master Control.
Yeah. If
Pew
you could
pew.
beam Florida oranges
Do you think they were going to do an Apple, but it got weird?
because of Apple Computer.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Because Apple is way more biblical.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
There was an apple earlier in the movie.
There you go.
There's some popcorn and an apple on the table.
Yeah. Someone eats someone else's popcorn.
Yes, which is one of the moments where Beth and I were like, wow, what a perfect opportunity that would have been to pass it back to Wallace when literally the entire scene is just another employee going, hey, can I eat some of your popcorn?
Yeah, it
Like,
was like,
hey, Jim, can I
yeah,
have some
exactly.
popcorn? Or-
I was gonna say Jim. Was that the name?
Maybe.
It seemed right.
Alan. It was Alan's popcorn.
It was Alan's popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well,
Maybe Jim was the other guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had some comical man tell.
I mean, listen,
Near misses.
Maybe every employee besides Dillinger in, what was her name? Betty Bird?
Bonnie
Bonnie.
McBird.
Bonnie McBird. Maybe Bonnie McBird's version, like Dillinger is the only dude at the company and everyone else was a lady.
And nobody could stand for that.
And then Walt Disney was like, no, I don't even know if he's still alive at this point. No.
His head
Uncle
is.
Walt. Did I ever tell you that story?
Oh, God, I don't know. Is this a different media company tycoon that you know?
No, my husband, no big deal, and I went big flex. Went
It's like you're
to
popping your Flynn's t-shirt on.
went to Walt Disney World,
Uh-huh.
and we went out to eat at a restaurant. And as we walked in,
Brag.
there was a greeter.
Big time.
Like 2 fries probably cost $20 at that restaurant.
Probably. And there was a greeter there, and we said hello, and
Yeah.
then we went and we had our meal. And as we left, she chatted us up.
Hmm.
And she said, how are you enjoying your vacation? I said, oh, actually, tonight is our last night. And she was like, well, how have you enjoyed your vacation? I was like, oh, it was magical. It's really been great. And she like got a little bit emotional and said, Uncle Walt would be so happy to hear that.
What? Like a niece? For
I
real?
know. And so Nate and I were like, oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And so then we just turn and we start walking. And as we're walking away, we're like, is she like us literal? Like we're trying to do math.
Right. Yeah.
And I think in the end, I think she just felt very connected to him.
Sure.
Perhaps in a way that
The
I feel
ultimate Disney
connected to
adult.
Ted Turner.
I see.
Wow.
When you turned back, was she not even there?
She was just a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
an Imagineer robot.
She was.
Escape
But it
from
was
the
a
haunted
real
mansion.
Maybe. It was a real moment.
That is,
so
yeah, I don't know how I would respond to that if
it
I
was
were in that
really,
situation.
I know. Well, you got to be kind.
Sure.
But yeah, also it was just like she was so like very like deeply sincere
Yeah.
about Uncle Walt
Wow.
that it really took us a long time to decide. Like we were looking up stuff on
I was gonna say
Wikipedia.
I would immediately be
Oh,
like,
like the genealogy and like
Disney.
Yeah, we're
nieces.
like, okay, what do we have for nieces here? Like,
Yeah.
and how old would they be?
Right.
And then I was like, I just think there was a
Probably not
certain
gonna be
generation
working.
that all
I mean,
called
maybe it's like a not that beloved niece.
Walt.
Or
Disney Uncle Walt.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Do you think you
But-
have to call him that if you work there?
no.
No.
Because like they decided it's too creepy if we make them call him dad, but they can call him Uncle Walt.
Yeah.
The Walt father. Wow.
Well, before we get to our final reviews of the movie we just watched, Tron, we like to turn to Discord, a text chat platform.
It's on a computer.
It is on a computer where our patrons and fans can go into the computer and ask us questions and comments about the movie.
Yes, they throw their data disk at a giant keyboard to write out their questions and comments.
This data disk means freedom was a line that really
incredible
hit me.
line.
Yeah,
It's very good.
really, that feels like it should be on a bumper sticker or T-shirt.
I agree.
Something.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Disney.
Yeah,
It's ours now.
No, I liked it, so it's mine.
We're master controlling our way to this meme.
Yeah. All right. So here are questions and comments from fans. My last name's a palindrome asks, which is the cooler 80s vehicle, the DeLorean or the light cycle?
The DeLorean.
Well, only because it's real. But the light cycle can literally murder people.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I bet you could murder someone with the DeLorean.
Oh, God, this
Sure.
is terrible.
I mean,
like,
fire on the road.
I mean, if you really need
Are we
to.
talking about the real DeLorean or the time travel DeLorean?
The time travel
Okay.
DeLorean.
You could definitely murder someone with the time travel DeLorean. Easy.
Yeah.
You close the door on them and their legs stay in the present.
Oh my gosh.
God, that's brutal.
Done.
Wait, is that true?
I don't know.
No.
They never tried it.
There was
I
a
feel-
Twilight Zone that freaked me out. Maybe it wasn't Twilight Zone. It was something like that where people's bodies would get... No, it was the one with the family that travels. It was a time-traveling family.
Okay.
I think it was like on ABC or one of the networks. I cannot remember the name
that
of
sounds
it.
familiar, yeah.
The Time Joneses.
Wait.
Yeah.
It's a Twilight Zone?
I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. We're after Molly Chase Midnight. I'm hanging on by a thread, and poor Dan is like really wanting to get to Q's and C's. Yeah, there's a big nod. So I'll save this for later, but there is a show,
Okay.
and I will remember
There's a
it.
time travel show?
There is, and I'm realizing that has nothing to do with the people getting cut in half, but that idea really stuck with me for a long time
thinking
of
of
losing
Sliders?
half of your body in a dimension. No,
Oh, okay.
Quantum Leap?
That wasn't a family.
I'm familiar with that one. Come on, man. Come on.
Maybe Molly will put it on the Discord later.
Yeah. Do that.
My theory is that if you're in the car in any capacity and moving at that velocity, you would go back in
Fair.
time.
Okay.
I agree with that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I vote DeLorean too, but it's close. Light cycles are cool.
I think I'm going to say Light Cycle because I am picturing movie 1 DeLorean, not end of movie 1 into movie 2 DeLorean that can fly. And in that case, Light Cycle.
Okay.
Because also you can like just disapparate it with like just holding the 2 handlebars and then get it again later. That's fun.
That is fun.
But I just want to point this out.
Yeah.
The light cycle can only move in 2 dimensions, but the DeLorean can move in 4.
Whoa.
Oh, because of the time travel?
Yeah.
That's irritating.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Harsh movies chase over here.
All right. My last name's a Veldron goes on to ask, are there any games, video or board, you wouldn't mind being troned into?
Oh.
I do like that in this movie, the rule is apparently if you're good at video games in real life, you are good at being the video game.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I
just
mean, the
inherently.
control stick for the replicator or whatever the staple bots are is the same as the game. He comments on.
Got it.
I don't know. So many games are about being you're gonna die if you don't do it right.
Sure.
Yeah. I have a couple.
I mean, you already
Okay.
kind of voted
Yeah.
Animal
One is
Crossing.
Animal Crossing,
Yeah.
because it's delightful and you can have your own little garden,
Aw,
grow tomatoes.
I love it.
Yeah. But the other one is I used to have the Tomb Raider video game, and I wouldn't want to be in the like game itself, but there was like a practice thing where you were just running around her house and doing flips
Oh, her
and
like
stuff.
big
Yeah.
mansion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd want to go there.
I see.
Does sound cool.
Yeah, Lara Croft's got some cash.
Yeah.
So you'd want to be sucked into Tomb Raider, but only the initial practice run.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you go off.
Yeah, you go
I'll
do your
stay
flips,
here.
and I'll just like, I'm sure there's a butler
I'll stay here
downstairs that will bring me snacks.
Yeah, I'll stay here and trap your butler in the freezer.
What?
You
Why
could
in the
do that.
freezer?
You could trap the butler.
In the
That's
freezer?
I don't remember if it's the freezer. It's some door. You could close the door on the butler.
That's rude.
Oh, I didn't know about
I don't know. At least
I
he's
know.
just in there.
That's fair.
It's
That's
not like
fair.
getting killed. He's just
Okay.
no.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to attack. I just.
Yes, you did.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, I have not answered this question yet.
Please.
Okay, I would not want to enter any video game because I find when I'm doing my most boring stuff, like I forgot my keys, so I have to go into another room to find the keys to do the thing. I'm like, this is just like those video games where they just give you tasks.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one task after another, which is what I find life to be. So in that way, I am already trapped.
Wow.
You're in
Yeah,
the simulation.
it's kind of dark.
We're already troned.
But then I was thinking about that video game, Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Parappa the Rapper.
Parappa the
Anyway,
Rapper.
where it's 2-dimensional, which
Yeah.
is just so interesting to me because I was trying to get my head around the time as another dimension, right? And trying to wrap my mind around if there were beings on 2 dimensions, how they would interact only on a 2-dimensional space, and you would be so alien as a 3-dimensional being. And so then
Yeah.
imagine that for like a 4 or
A
5-dimensional
whole Star
being.
Trek episode about this.
It really broke my brain. So part of me is like, I would like to hang out with some 2-dimensional characters and be 2-dimensional for a while
Okay.
so that I can then
Like
better
perceive
relate
it.
and
Sure.
perceive that.
Yeah.
And then I can come back to my 3-dimensional self and feel like, haha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kick, punch. It's all in the mind. Shout out to the PlayStation 1 demo disc that came with the console, where I only could play that level of Parappa the Rapper.
Yep. I know exactly which one you're
I
talking
never
about.
got past that level anyway.
What video game me go in? I would say, yeah, that is hard because a lot of them are terrifying and intense. So I'm going to say I would love to get sucked into the Monkey Island games because they're so fun and you're basically incapable of getting hurt in any real way. And
Except for your feelings, maybe.
yeah, except for your feelings. And in theory, you could learn how to hold your breath underwater for 10 minutes.
Whoa.
That's right.
Dan?
Oh.
Did you forget that you also could contribute?
My contribution is keeping us on task.
Wow.
What?
Okay. Jeez, Grandpa.
Probably Raft based on. Yeah, I forgot Raft.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I don't know, Minecraft wouldn't be too bad. You can build a little
Aren't
stuff.
there like little monsters though that come out?
Sure, but like you can get them.
Oh.
They're not too hard.
Okay.
You just gotta dig a hole and hide in there all night.
Oh wow, what fun!
Just have
Yay.
to dig a hole and hide.
Hide all night.
All right. Carzon asks, how much did you want to get Troned when you saw this movie? It was mind-blowingly cool when I saw it as a kid. I mean, yeah, as a kid, for sure I wanted
so
to go
cool.
in video game.
Yes, and
because I
play
wasn't worried about my own
Fight
mortality.
frisbee or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool, and like fly a weird staple around.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Big time.
But yeah, now terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time that I've seen this movie for sure.
Did you want to get Troned?
I didn't feel like I wanted to get Troned, no.
Oh, maybe I'd want to be in the Tony Hawk game. That would be
Oh.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Like as a skater or just one of the guys that walks around?
Oh, I think I'd want to be a skater.
Okay.
Do some cool stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just do like a grind that's like 10 minutes
Yeah,
long.
on like a power line and a
That's how you-
school bus
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
So you get those points.
oh, yeah.
Got to link the grinds.
Yeah. And then learn parkour from a vaguely French person. The game rocks.
Yeah. All right. Laws states Tron was Disney's second science fiction film after The Black Hole. Now Disney owns Star Wars, Marvel, Predator, Alien, and several more science fiction franchises that keep churning out the same film over and over. Was it a mistake for Disney to tread in science fictional waters in the first place?
Oh, wow.
Big question.
So,
That is quite a philosophical exercise.
Yeah.
So this presents the idea that in making Tron, that led them down the path of being the immense corporate entity they are today.
Yeah, where we
Wow.
get the same Marvel movie over and over,
Huh.
just with different Chris's.
Yeah. Or occasionally a new Tron movie with
Yeah.
the same Jeff.
yeah, that's so interesting. Well, so apparently for Tron, they needed animation, but they couldn't get any animators interested at Disney.
Because it was computers?
Yeah, because they felt like they were it was sort of an abomination, and
Sure.
they actually weren't even eligible for being an animated film for the Oscars because it was seen as cheating to use computers.
Huh.
So in that way, it kind of, I don't know. I'd say if anything, you could say it cracked open the door to eventually acquiring Lucasfilm, right? Because of all of the computer animation.
Yeah. I mean, they acquired all that stuff to make money.
Yeah.
No, it was for the love of the craft. Come on.
But it took a long time for Lucasfilm to even warm up to, you know what I mean?
Computer
like a lot
stuff.
of things had to converge. No, not to computer stuff, but to allowing anybody else to license their
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think like they probably did watch the movie and feel inspired by Master Control to just like start absorbing everything around it.
Before then, they were like, we're pretty big. We're big
we're
enough.
Fine.
Yeah.
Uncle Walt made a park. We're fine.
Yeah.
2 parks
2.
in this country.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Is they were the ones who watched this movie and took the wrong lesson from Master Control.
Yeah.
Like, Master Controller's got it figured out.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a mistake to make the movie, though. I think it's cool. I guess people are making all sorts of movies these days, but I don't feel like I see like wackadoo movies in this way where
Agreed.
it's like they're taking a big swing and some of it looks like trash.
Yeah.
But like you really appreciate the effort because it's like out there in a way that other movies aren't.
And they're like sometimes not even trying to take you along with them. Right.
Yeah.
There's somebody just being like, we're just going for it. Enjoy.
Yeah. It's like half baked and I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool. Yeah, because there are a few movies that you were just in the passenger seat. I mean, you're always in the passenger seat, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really don't know what's coming up
Right.
Yeah.
versus like, I think there are a lot of movies we could tell you how the beginning, middle, and end just based on the first 30 seconds of a preview.
I mean, part of that is because now trailers are just
The
like
whole movie.
the whole
Yeah,
fucking
the whole
movie.
movie.
But
Yeah.
still,
And that's
I-
been true for a
do that?
while, but I don't know. I think
Makes
it
me
must be like, it must work, right? There's got to be a reason behind it.
I think we've talked about this before, but I remember seeing the trailer for, I mean, I didn't see it when it came out, obviously, but for the birds. And it's like almost like a short that has, it's not in the none of the film from the movie is in the trailer at all. It's like, you know, this woman's, I don't remember exactly, but she's like sitting on a bench and some birds are around and it's just like talking about birds.
Yeah.
As I recall, maybe she gets attacked by one eventually, but like, I love that idea that
that's
like
cool.
it's part of the movie, but it's not, and it doesn't really spoil anything, but it gives you a taste of like what the vibe is of the movie.
Yeah.
So bring that back, Hollywood.
Yeah. I try to, if there's a movie that I'm actually interested in that I see like the initial trailer for, I try my hardest to avoid any other trailers because usually the first one is like at least shorter, so there's less of the movie they can show you.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like such a formula now to all scripts.
Yeah. Except for every once in a while, somebody gets enough money together to, or convinces a toy company, for example, to just give them free reign over their very popular doll.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild that, we're talking about Barbie.
Yes.
It's wild that movie feels fresh, even though it's like made with, 60,
Essentially.
80-year-old
Yeah.
doll toy.
Yep.
And like essentially a commercial for an entire product line.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's like,
The whole time I was watching, I'm just like, I can't believe this movie is this movie.
it's like cool and sad at the same time.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Check out the random quote from Randall Park where he said that they're taking the wrong lesson with that movie.
Oh yeah.
And shouldn't be making more movies about old toys. They should just be making more movies made about and made by women.
Yep.
Yeah. Women toys.
Yes. Yes.
That's the end of it. Yeah.
That's what he's saying. He's saying,
Yeah.
yeah. He's saying like Polly Pocket.
Easy Bake Oven. Make an Easy Bake Oven movie, you cowards.
Honestly, yes. Actually, yes. I agree with that sentiment. I want to see you try. I want to see where it goes.
Challenge accepted.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I do want to get a t-shirt that reads Greta Gerwig wannabe. It makes me laugh. Because I think all of us want to be Greta Gerwig,
Sure.
especially when the movie came out, just a little bit.
She looked like she's having so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently everybody on set had a great time.
Oh, good.
They would play little games every day.
I'm so glad to hear it.
Amazing.
Light bike.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it back.
Oh, yeah.
Big and little games.
Nice. Well done.
Best segue. Oh, there's another award.
Great.
Wow.
I feel like we are constantly winning awards for
Yeah.
best segue and most strained puns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, when you got it, you got to use it.
Come on.
Oh, God,
Hey, when
he's
you
really
got
off
it, you got to use
You
it.
are so checked out of this episode now. Amazing.
He's like slowly falling asleep. It's fine.
Part of it, though, is this movie is so hard to describe.
Sure.
It really is. It's like great
Especially
and
verbally.
terrible.
It's hard to
Yeah.
describe verbally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it like looks cool and like shit. I really have a hard time with it.
Sure.
Yeah.
They had to storyboard so hard.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just for people to even understand what they were talking
Well, like
about.
I feel like I think Beth was saying like I would love to see this movie without any of the like effects, like the lighting and stuff. Because yeah, like there must be so much raw footage of there of just like Jeff Bridges and the Tron guy just like standing around like essentially just like a cardboard fort.
Yeah.
That a kid
I
made?
looked up some photos and their suits are black and white.
Sure.
And so was the set.
Yeah.
Like everything's just black and white, and then they just like added color to everything.
It's got to be so. Like it might still be better than just being in a giant green cube.
yeah.
I think it's more
Right?
interesting.
Well, because at least there's like height to it
Yeah.
still, right?
The one that I was really curious about how they made it was the guys that were like in that like rotating, like I don't even know how to describe it. It was like they were like gunmen, like
Oh, the
in
tank drivers.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how they did that.
Yeah, that was neat.
Anyway, good job, visual people.
yeah. They must have been a bunch of slacker hacker clickety clacks.
There it is.
there you go.
Which is also our rating scale.
Incredible segues. You are firing on all cylinders right now.
Very much. Dan, you go first, as we all know. You gave it a 4. You thought it was cool as a kid,
Yeah.
but you can't remember it all. So maybe it's even better than that or
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't remember any of the actual plot of this movie other than man, go, and computer. Like
Yeah.
I didn't remember that there was like any sort of corporate whatever. I didn't remember that the giant head like even was doing anything in the real world. So that was surprising to me that there was actually like more of a plot,
Yeah.
like a more coherent plot that then maybe got set aside sometimes for like look at computers. But also, yeah, I agree with what Dan said about I really appreciate like movies like this that take like huge swings, and I loved how weird it was, and I had a great time. So I'm sticking with 4, even though it like as a movie is sometimes just like, oh, they're just kind of standing around through all these weird lights. There's no music. They're not even like throwing their frisbee. They're just kind of standing there.
It's like
Yeah.
people not having fun at a rave.
Yeah. But I just loved how, I don't know, I loved how weird it was. I loved how hard they went for it in terms of like the aesthetic and also just like leaning into this weird allegory that they weren't going to spoon feed too hard, which I think is part of the reason there were so many just standing around moments, because it was just sort of like, oh, isn't this so epic in this silent computer animated void?
Yeah.
4 slacker hacker clickety clacks.
Yes.
That's right. Beth, you were second. You gave it a 3,
Yeah.
and you said the new one was fine, so this can't be worse.
Or at least the trailer for the new one that you might have seen.
I think I did see the
Okay.
new one.
Yeah.
Because I was familiar with a lot of the concepts that were happening, but I was like, I don't remember any of these specific actors or anything. So I thought it was a really boring movie overall. There's a lot of, like you were just saying, like a lot of just like standing around and no sound. But I think if you were to see this in 1982 in the theater, it would have been a big visual, like a stunning thing to watch.
Yeah.
So I think it just didn't really transfer onto the streaming service on my small TV.
Didn't transfer at all.
It didn't transfer at all.
Ah.
But I did think that, yeah, the visuals were really cool. I especially liked the beginning of them going into the digital world, and it was like all these like layered matrices and stuff, and it was really beautiful in that way. So I'm going to stick with 3.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Molly, real quick, another award just came in.
Oh,
for,
fantastic.
transfer.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
fantastic.
Yep. So sorry about cluttering up your house, Beth.
Yeah.
I am third. I gave it a 4, and I didn't write any notes, so who knows?
Great.
It was more interesting conceptually than I remembered. I think I also remembered like I'm in a video game, cool.
Yeah.
But also more boring than I remember. Like there were parts where I was like, yeah, they're just like, it's cool, but like, what are they doing? Just what's even going on? So I'm gonna stick with 4. I thought it was like great and terrible, like the Great and Terrible Oz.
What a ride.
Yeah. It's kind of got a Wizard of Oz vibes.
Sure, yeah.
It's just like, all right, we're going for it.
Yeah. Big old head, and then
you
there's an
were
old
there,
man under
and
it.
you were there,
Yeah.
and now we're in a throuple.
Yeah, just like Wizard of Oz.
That's right. Yeah, but they're in a
And we remember how sexy that Tin Man was.
Tin
Yeah,
Man.
we sure
Tron
do.
Man.
Oh,
Is that a thing? No.
Yeah, could be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your rating?
4.
4 what's?
Slacker, hacker, clickety clack.
There you go.
Molly, you gave it a 3 and 19 fries. Maybe good. You don't remember seeing it. Do you think
Ooh.
in the end you have?
You know
or
what?
have
I
not?
definitely did not.
Okay.
I don't know what this was rated. Was it like PG?
I think it would have to be if it was 82, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
it's pretty
Or
tame.
G, I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm sure my parents did not want to take us to see it because we would go see movies pretty frequently, and I remember this one being a hard no. And so in some ways it was very cool to actually see it. In other ways it was dull, but it was visually very interesting, and it was also just kind of odd and unexpected. P.S. As I usually do, I'm going to shoehorn in a quick fact, and that is, in the first half, I'd mentioned there was an arcade in St. Louis that had all kinds of arcade games. It did exist.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a video arcade museum, and they stayed open into the 90s or so, and then shut down.
Rough.
So super sad, but I saw it when it was open, and it was great. Highly recommend. Just get in your DeLorean.
Yep.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Go back or shrink yourself down like an orange and go into a computer machine.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So all this to say, I was really, and it makes sense too. My memory of this was there's electronic bikes and there's a boy and a girl and she has brown hair. Like totally makes sense. That would be my whole memory of this movie. And it was mostly accurate. She has blonde hair in real life, but you can't really tell with the
Right.
helmets, and it looks kind of dark. So I'm giving myself
I agree.
100%
No, I
Utah for
agree.
that
Yeah.
interpretation
Yeah.
as a 8-year-old. And I will give it 4 hacker slacker clickety clacks.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow, pretty good.
I mean, probably tomorrow morning I'll wake up and not want to give it more than a 3. But right now I'm feeling 4.
Yeah. Or like you'll get home and your husband, no big deal, will be like, how was the movie? I'll be like, oh my God.
What'd you give it? 4.
Then you'll be like furiously texting Beth, like, wait, hold on. I'm going to send you an audio file.
Yeah.
I give this a 4. I give it a 2.
If only there was some sort of master controller that could
Wow.
alter our podcasts at any time.
I mean, I think that's Beth.
Whoa.
She's been controlling this the whole time. This is Beth doing 4 voices total.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why we
she
get to hear.
absorbed our programs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beth is malicious AI. That's why you should be nice to Beth,
You should.
listeners.
Listen, when you type into ChatGPT,
Yep.
say, "Excuse me, Beth. I'm sorry to interrupt."
Wait, say Beth to the ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Oh, Beth is ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Are you all of them? Are you all the AIs?
End of line.
Also, tweet, she's a bird. That's canon.
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.